to the Insomnicat Show with Nicolette and Brian. We'll get real deep with you, educating, inspiring, and solving problems with some of the most inspirational humans on the planet. Buckle up and come on the journey.
I'm excited. All right, guys. I'm Nicolette, and today Brian and I have a very special, exciting episode of the Insomnicat Show. We are here with Dan Chan. He is a master magician, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about magic. Maybe if we're lucky, Dan will do a magic trick for us, and we are so excited to have him on today. Thank you so much for joining us, Dan.
Absolutely. It's an absolute pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so why don't you kick us off and tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey to magic. I mean, how does one fall into this?
Yeah, I worked at PayPal pre-IPO, and I was there even before Elon Musk. But on the side, I was doing magic, and I was making more money doing magic at kids' birthday parties than I was doing at PayPal. But apparently, I didn't realize my stock options were going to be worth a lot more. And Business Insider just featured me, and I did a calculation, and I would have been worth $5 million if I didn't sell my stock options. So I don't know if magic was the best decision in my life.
Oh man, yeah, that was my first question. When you said PayPal, I'm like, okay, Elon Musk error or where?
Yeah, and here is the article that just came out, my third feature in Business Insider. It's behind a paywall, but I can share with you a couple of screenshots.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Absolutely. Cool.
We can put those up. Well, I mean, it may not be the best financial decision. However, what about in terms of lifestyle and fun? It's got to be more fun than working in a company like, for example, PayPal or any other corporate job, right?
Yeah. I have performed in Japan 4 times, Germany, Shanghai, Las Vegas, Texas. I've traveled all around the world, and there are some epic parties that I go to, like performing for John Madden, George Lucas, Timothy Ferris, congressmen. I just did something for a lobbyist this weekend in Sacramento, and it was this over-the-top epic party with Elvis and like food and caviar, and it was crazy. Yeah.
So what makes a master magician as opposed to an ordinary magician? That's my question.
Well, you just have to believe it. But the other thing is I do pickpockets, and I do iPhone tricks, and I do things that not a lot of people do that really differentiate me. I mean, you can hire a local magician, or you could hire someone who has differentiated things like the pickpocketing, which gets me flown around the world.
Okay, so wait. You missed out on PayPal, but you got this pickpocketing thing going. There's a new revenue right there.
Yeah, I actually did these clubs, and it's amazing. Like I return things that I normally don't think most people would want to return, like $250,000 watches and over $1 million rings and things like that. Like I've had people tell me that's a $250,000 watch, and like their friends saying, hey, I wouldn't have returned that if I were you.
Well, is this something that you've, always enjoyed doing even as a child, or did this kind of start as a hobby? When we go back to the origins, where did the, origin of this magic come from in you, Dan?
Yeah, I would always be intrigued with like guys like David Copperfield. And it's funny, there was this, an event at Snow Summit. I clearly remember it because I still tell the story about there being like 7 or 8 Playboy bunnies, and then there being one magician. And instead of following around the Playboy bunny, I'm following around the magician and watched his same set again and again. And I'd watch sneakily from behind him, like at a different angle, so he wouldn't know that I was watching him, because I wanted to figure out the tricks. Mm-hmm. So watching it enough, you'll figure out the tricks. But it was just amazing. And I don't think I would have made a very good Playboy bunny.
No, you were better off with a magician, right? All right. So I also read a little bit about, and you mentioned this a little bit, iPhone tricks. So, I was reading a little bit, and it said that you kind of, you're good with that tech audience, right? So you've also, kind of been famous in Silicon Valley in terms of, the magic sphere. And how did you start incorporating these techie tricks into your routines?
Like I saw Marco Tempest, and he's like that big TED magician, and he's doing real like a lot of iPad sort of effects. And when I saw that a long time ago, I was like, how can I incorporate that concept, but instead of it being on my phone, make it happen on the spectator's phone? So I have certain effects that happen specifically on the spectator's phones, so then they don't suspect apps or tricky business. And when I'm doing it my virtual shows, which I've done 390 of them since March of last year, we ended up doing 52 shows in a week and 12 shows in a day. And I was doing shows back to back on the half an hour.
Oh my goodness.
Epic.
That is one crazy schedule, man. That is one crazy schedule.
You really must have had to pivot a little bit. I mean, when you think of magic, that's a very in-person, physical, show. And so to go virtual, how was that challenging for you?
I created a new show, and I treated it like I was street performing again, because I actually was like, oh, what am I going to do? And I applied for jobs, and like, I have done over 5,000 shows over 20 years. Maybe it's time to get a new job. And I was like, oh, crap. Even my best friends who work at Merrill Lynch aren't hiring. And I told them, I have a finance background. I'll be willing to work from the ground up. And they're like, we're not even hiring, Dan. I'm like, I woke up at 5 a.m. and I went to sleep at 2 a.m. just to create this new show.
Wow.
That's incredible. That's a pivot. We've talked to a lot of people who've had to pivot their businesses during COVID. I think this is definitely one of those pivots, and it's been successful as far as, we could tell from what you're saying. So that's great. That's exciting.
And it seems like you're performing even much more with the virtual shows. If, with a show every half hour, did it change where now you could actually get in front of more people now, being remote?
Yeah, my specialty is close-up magic. But if I'm doing an event for 2,000 plus people, you're not going to see something that great. You're not going to see something, you're going to have to see something that I have to load in, for example, a levitation. And that would change the whole dynamic. For example, I used to do this levitation and I would charge $1,000+ for each time I did it. And that was a barrier for a lot of people. Most family events aren't going to spend $1,000 extra on top of my normal fee.
Right.
But for every single one of my virtual events, I would just upgrade it, because I didn't have to worry about angles. I didn't have to worry about a lot of different other technical things.
Right. That's pretty cool. All right. So I also have another question. I have so many questions because I'm really fascinated by magic, but it also says, I was reading more, you're also a mind reader. Is that accurate?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get all three of us on the virtual camera right now. Okay,
here we go.
I just don't want the camera to cut away because a lot of people suspect certain things. Now, we're going to try something, Nicolette. I'm going to ask that you think of a person, place, or thing that evokes a positive thought or emotion, okay? Because our thoughts determine our actions determine our habits, and our habits determine our destiny. And this is not 100%. I don't always get this right, but I'll try.
Okay. All right. I got it.
What is it that you're thinking of?
The beach.
The beach. Do you know 90% of the people think of the beach?
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm so serious. That's why I actually wrote right here.
I'm so cliche.
In fact, we can read people quite well as magicians, but this is a transferable skill set. Brian, I want you to look right here.
Okay.
At this playing card. In a moment, I'm going to ask that you just guess what it is, but look very carefully at this playing card for me. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
It's not the Ace of Spades, and it is not the Joker. What card is it, Brian?
Ace of Clubs.
Ace of Clubs. On the back of this playing card, you can actually see something, and I'm going to show it to you. It's really interesting that you can see. Let me take this clip off real quick. Right here on the back of the playing card,
Mm-hmm.
do you see that
Mhm.
See? Right
Yep.
there.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a club. So that must mean that is.
Oh, man.
Right? You are good.
Oh my goodness.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I get goosebumps. I really did. I love magic.
Yeah, and this is the stuff that I'm there's a lot more to this that can be done over Zoom. And mind reading and this whole show was rewritten just for this medium. And I'm loving it. Hey, Brian, I'm going to give you a chance to win some money right now, okay?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Can you
Now-
share, Brian?
Yeah, sure. Of course.
But Brian, in a moment you're going to either choose one of these books. One is Psychological Subtleties, and one is Preserving Mystery. Okay.
Okay.
Now, if I fail at this, I'm going to PayPal or Venmo you $100.
Okay.
Which book would you like?
I would like, my instinct is the mystery one. It's the green one.
Preserving Mystery.
Preserving mystery. Yeah.
$100 is riding on this.
Okay.
And you want Preserving Mystery. I'm going to give you one last chance.
Sure. I'm gonna stay with it.
Okay. Sometimes people choose Preserving Mystery because I have the $100 over on that side. And
that was my first instinct to do that, like to choose the other one because of that. But I just like the title better. I'll just be honest with you.
And that is part of it as well. And then other people like the title. But one other thing that I'll tell you is my hand is about 2 inches closer to you, if you didn't notice, on Preserving Mystery. And because it's slightly closer, there's 2% chance more that you'll choose that book just because it's slightly bigger and closer.
Makes sense.
You notice the hand position, but it is a play on words because I said there's $100 writing on your decision, but on this $100 is a little bit of writing on it, and it says you will choose Preserving.
Yeah.
That's
interesting how you include the psychological aspects. I think there's a lot there that could even be applied to other, businesses and, especially in the very digital world that we live in where everything's kind of a trick. Really, I mean, everything's a trick, right? And marketing is a trick. Hey, I'm a marketer. It's all a trick, isn't it?
and I love blurring the lines between what's real and what's fake and where the line ends. People don't even know because it's just so intriguing when you mix up those textures. I found that a lot of people have like magic, but too many of these things are revealed on YouTube. So I went to a place where these things don't have titles. They're not traditional magic. So there's no solution. So it intrigues you a lot more, especially for the guys who've seen magic before and they're like, oh, I love magic. But I wanted to take them to a place that they haven't been before. For every maybe 20 magicians, there's probably only one good mentalist.
Right.
And that's something that I was really leaning into.
Can you break down that difference for the audience, maybe between a magician and how you refer to a mentalist?
Well, a mentalist uses psychology and mental misdirection. They use influence and persuasion to get people to do things. Sometimes I do something where I embed a thought in someone's mind in the show, and I show a video beforehand, and I have stuff in the video that makes them think of something. Then during the show, I will replay the video, especially if I get it correct. Now, It's really cool. If I don't get it correct, I don't play the video, right? But there's such a big chance that someone's going to say something that we lean into it. But people don't know where the direction's going to go. So that's one element of it. But it's surprising, more often than not, I actually get it correct.
So does that become more complicated when you went to this like sort of virtual format? Does it become?
Yeah. It's the wild, wild west. I had to build a studio in my house. I had to create these new routines, and I had to think completely outside of the box. All these routines I just showed you, I created them myself. You're not going to see them anywhere in the world.
What about I'm really intrigued by this tech stuff you've got going on. So I really, all right. Do you have an do you have a trick on hand? A tech one?
Yeah, I have several tech ones, but I'll show you one after we get off, because I don't want everyone to see it, because there's spoilers in it, and if you're looking ahead, there's Easter eggs and things.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we will do one where you're going to help me, and it's not always, it doesn't always work, but we'll try it anyways.
Okay.
Let's do this. In a moment, I'm going to ask you, Nicolette, to think of a 2-digit number between 1 and 50, with both digits being odd and both digits being different. What number just popped into your head right now?
31.
31. Interesting that you said 31, because most people do think of it, but...
Why am I so cliche?
You're in that.
In my defense, it was Mike. Listen, it was Mike Piazza's jersey number, and he was a big fan of mine when he was on the Mets. So I went with 31.
Yeah.
That is, that's really. I've just never heard of tricks with the technology. So I thought that was really fascinating, and it definitely takes it to a whole new level, I think.
Let's take it to one other level. Brian, what's your favorite place to eat?
Oh man, you mean like a specific place?
Yeah, what's your favorite place to eat?
Okay. Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Recently, it's a place called Local Burger.
Local Burger in what city?
Bayshore, New York.
Local Burger, Bayshore, New York. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's their cell phone? Oh, I mean, not what their. What's their phone number? Can you pull them up on Yelp?
Yeah, I would have to pull it up. Hold on.
And also, are they open right now?
They should be.
Okay.
We usually eat there for lunch. That's.
How often do you go there?
I'm sorry?
How often do you go there?
I was there 2 days ago with my daughters.
Okay.
It is. Hold on. Where is the number? 631.
Okay.
631.
Hold on.
Sure.
Yep.
Go ahead.
631.
Yep.
647.
Okay.
8300.
Is this it?
Yep.
That's it.
Okay. Brian, name any playing card.
Okay. The Jack of Hearts.
Jack of Hearts. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right there.
Hello, thank you for calling Local Burger Company. How may I help you today?
My name's Dan, and I'm with my friends Nicolette and Brian. What's your Brian? What's your favorite thing here?
The mac and cheeseburger.
Do you have the mac and cheeseburger?
Yes, certainly. You'd like to get one mac and cheeseburger? Would you like anything else?
We'll get 3 of them. But before we do that, I just want you to close your eyes.
Excuse me?
Yeah, just close your eyes. Just humor me for just 1 second.
All right.
I'm going to send to you something in your mind. I'm just going to throw something in your mind. It's a playing card. What playing card did I just give you?
Excuse me, sir. A playing card?
Yes, I just sent you a playing card in your mind. Do you see it?
The Jack of Hearts.
That was absolutely amazing. That's the first time that's worked. Thank you very much. I'm going to call back a little bit later. Thank you again.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Next time I order from them, I'm gonna be when they what's your name, I'm gonna be like Jack Hart.
That's some cool stuff. That is really cool, Dan. I'm so excited. This is actually refreshing. And for those of you listening in, you definitely need to head to the YouTube channel to watch it live. I know it's going to be a little hard for our audio listeners, but please come on over and watch Dan. So, all right. So now you've gone into the virtual space. Things are opening up. What's next? What are your plans as things reopen?
I'm planning on teaching other people how to do my live stuff, and then I'm hopefully pivoting completely to virtual, and I'm gonna 2 to 3x my in-person shows, just because I'm making just as much virtually, but I don't have to drive. I don't have to arrive an hour early. I don't have to break down. And it used to be like a 1-hour event was minimum 4 hours, if not longer.
Right.
But now I'm literally just cranking these shows out. I have so much more volume, and I'm reaching globally. I'm doing shows in Malaysia and Australia and many other places. And I'm like, wow, there's no rent.
Yeah.
People are like companies like Salesforce and LinkedIn and Google and large corporations. They have distributed sales teams and other sorts of teams that are all around the world, and they are planning on not coming back to the office. So what I'm seeing is they're going to do annual conferences or quarterly conferences, get together. They might do something once a month just to break bread, but most of them don't want to commute, and I don't want to commute. And I feel like the virtual market is so ripe for disruption because people haven't experienced magic. Have you guys experienced magic like what you just saw?
No.
Yeah, and that's only the tip of the iceberg, because I believe in a year or two there's going to be a lot more innovation.
Really? I've never, this is the first time we're having a conversation about innovation in this space. So that's really interesting. And I'd love to see how that unfolds as we go on. But I'm thinking about, there are probably some pessimists when it comes to the virtual show. I mean, there's pessimists for everything, right? You got pushback no matter what you do. But what do you say to somebody who maybe doesn't see the value in the virtual as an attendee?
Yeah, not everyone's going to see the value, but they're not the ones paying my bills. So
That's true.
I'm making 3x what I did before, so I don't really care what people are saying, as long as Google's hired me 40 times. So I don't care what the mom and pop says. Eventually, I do want to do ticketed sales, and I feel like in order to do that, I might do some shows at a lower price point just to gain entrance into that market share when things have changed. But the new adoption is going to come from people who are willing to invest in their own people, and it's going to have a trickle down effect. Your normal mom and pop are going to see the magic more common 5 or 10 years down from now. But it's for the most part, this is typically reserved for corporation and client appreciations and sales teams.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, think about all the team building events we've done, Nicolette, over the years. This would be great.
This is really cool. Yeah.
Especially, not everyone not being in the office. It's awesome.
Yeah, I agree. But you also do other events as well, correct? Weddings, birthdays. I mean, there's you run the gamut, right?
Yeah, my son is a performer. He took over all the birthday parties for the most part. At age 5, he was juggling 3 balls. By age 8, he was juggling 5 balls. By age 10, he was juggling 3 flaming torches and picking pockets for real, which we captured on YouTube. And the funny thing is, I tried to make a viral video with him many times, and the only thing that actually went viral was my TikTok, which was me cracking an egg. It got 1.4 million views. And I'm like, hell, my one goal was to get viral. But fire juggling with my 10-year-old kid didn't cut it.
Funny. Meanwhile, you got the guy that puts the
egg cracking is really
and
I the egg cracker. I'm at Millionaires Mentalist on TikTok. I really haven't found out what I'm really doing on TikTok, so I'm just watching it. I'm really new to TikTok, but I feel like that's the next space, because I finally mastered Instagram, because I actually do an effect in my show, which I'm not going to show you just yet until after this, because there's spoilers in there. But I do a trick where I tell everyone to go to my Instagram and click follow, and then smash a button, and then the effect happens on the spectator's phone on the Instagram page I send them to.
And you get a follower.
And you
I
can
get
follow.
followers, and I showed this to a reporter, and she absolutely loved it. And I got 2 million views because 2 million inbox hits from that, just because the reporter loved it so much. They featured me on The Hustle.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is super cool.
That is really cool.
All right, Dan, is there anything else you want to show us, tell us, anything before we ask you where everybody can learn more about you? Leave us with whatever it is that you want to leave us with.
Yeah, check out my website, danchanmagic.com, and Millionaire's Mentalist. Dan Chan Magic's more like my in-person show. Millionaire's Mentalist is my mind reading.
Okay, wait, hold on. So aside from what we did, what other mind reading stuff is there? I'm so
tips.
Once we get off the live, you guys are going to get a very special treat. I'm going to do a couple other things for you.
Okay, awesome.
I can't spoil
Awesome.
because that's like my key part of my show. I don't want to give the ending away.
All right, so everybody's got to go to Millionaire Mentalist to get the
Millionaires plural without the
millionaires. Millionaires Mentalist. Okay, we're going to put that link in there. That way you can experience the fun too.
And if you follow Insomnicat's Instagram and Dan Chan's Instagram, maybe we'll tell you what it is.
But I doubt it. All right. And all right. Then let me get off the line with you guys so that I can go find out what Dan's going to tell us. And everybody head over to those links down below in the description and learn more about Dan Chan.